My name is Leonard Mcharo. I am the founder of Savo, and together with my wife and our wonderful team of people, we have the honor and privilege of running this wonderful company. I've been told to talk about Savo at 8. It's interesting. We have made great strides, I think, over the last 8 years. And I'm not sure whether to talk about it from the stones and the concrete we have built, or the lives we have touched, or even my own personal journey over these 8 years. I realize it's 20% of my life. I was slightly above 40 when I came here. I was actually turning 41. Now I'm turning 49, and it's been an interesting journey. It started with a lot of pain. I think the run up to Savo 2015, 2014, 2013, 14, 15 were extremely painful years for me, especially 2015. Very, very stressful. At a personal level, professionally, and I think turning 40 does something to you. I don't know whether it's external pressure or it's internal pressure. I'm not sure, but just asking, why am I here? You know, I'm doing good buildings, but is that it? Will I always be chasing a client here, doing a building there? Is that really it, or will is that be time to, as you put it, change the world? Is that there? And I think that question of changing the world was real. Maybe it was watching too much Steve Jobs or something, but we believed we could do it. And there was a fight not to come out and start something new. And I think that's what caused a lot of internal stress. Because I was at a place where it's a company I founded. I think I had lost control of it. I didn't know what was going on. My partners would explain to me that, look, where we set out to go is where we are going, but you are going through your own problems. I think that's the time I started keeping my long afro, and I hope I'll get time to talk about it at some point. And so that fight between the reality that I think I see and what my partners are seeing, there was a clash. And so there's a lot of internal pain, anxiety, lack of sleep, really, really difficult time. I took a step to talk to one of my mentors. I think it's something that men should do more. His name is Eugene Ngugi. I really thank him. He runs, I think, one of the best interior design companies in the country, PIL. And he told me to leave. He told me, take a step and just go. Where was I going? Exactly what was I going to do? Will people agree to come with me? I didn't know. But I think after talking to him, I knew the die is cast. And this was around June, I think. I looked for an office space. I started forming the company. So at a time like this, I was in that harakati of trying to get space and form the company and what have you. I was fortunate first to have a supportive wife who supported both emotionally, and I knew if there was need, she would support financially, both for me as an individual and for the company. Unfortunately, we had invested, so we knew somewhere at the back of my mind, I would have enough to pay rent and kids' fees, and if things went south, I knew it was covered. And so we came and started this company. And at the beginning, I was young, 41. I didn't think I was young then, but I look at it, I'm thinking, 8 years later, I was a different man. I didn't have any gray hair on my head. I think I was a bit neater. Now I've become a bit more rugged. I was more polite. I think now I speak my mind a bit freely. I think by then I had experienced pain, but I've become tougher. I think I've become more thick skin. I think that doing something like this does that to you. It makes you both empathetic to what people are, to how people feel and how your actions and words affect others. But you learn to deal with pain. Your pain threshold really goes up. I'm more sensitive to other people's pain, but I'm able to deal with a lot more pain myself, because, man, crap comes from every angle. Yeah, trouble just comes from every angle. So when we actually got to move into the office, there was this excitement of, I mean, if you have watched the Ten Commandments, the day when these guys leave Egypt to live, where are they going? They have no idea, but there was just, the excitement was palpable. I think that's where we were. And we knew we were going to do epic things. We were a bit naughty then. We said we were going to do epic shit. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that as a Christian, but those are the words we used. We knew would change the world. 8 years later, we have achieved, because we didn't even know how then. It took us about 18 months, and I think I've shared this story before. It took us about 18 months to crack a business model that we thought was good, and that's what we are with now. Same business model, we've just refined it and made it more efficient, but really the same direction. And we have actually done everything we set out to do, but it was on paper. The numbers, the growth, the impact, the all that was on paper, and you as a visionary, you can sort of see it. And visionary don't just mean me. We have trained the whole company to be able to see and create vision that way. But now it's real. Every design that's drawn ends up becoming concrete. It ends up becoming a cost. It ends up becoming an excavation, which has an impact on the environment. It ends up being a life of the person who is investing. This person has a job, they have children. It ends up being a resident who is living here. It ends up being the team in the office who have grown from, I don't know, we were 7, now we are 100 and I don't know what, something, plus almost 1,000 in the sites. It is the gradual, I don't think there's any moment of revelation, just the gradual understanding of the impact of what we do. That and the consequences, because they are every day they are there. Some that I have brought out of my own carelessness and my own actions, some that me and my team have done, some that have just come from, forces outside of ourselves or the people we serve. I think all these things give you that thick skin, one, which I think is something I appreciate. I don't bury my feelings and my emotions. I'm just able to deal with them better, I think. It makes you bolder, and boldness, I see boldness now different from how I saw it 8 years ago, or how I saw it when I was as young, say, as the residents who are here. But as you grow older and you have more responsibility, because I think you have a little better understanding of how the economy works, a little better understanding of how people's minds work, because everything is about people's minds. You're able to make steps that from the outside look extremely audacious. They look extremely bold. But you have done your mathematics on the inside. But it also makes you extremely humble, because mortality becomes real. It becomes more real every day. I mean, I think about my death now more than I ever did. And well, maybe I'm just at that age. So what happens if I died? Will this machine continue? And not for the machine to continue so that we can just keep growing. No. That the people who have already believed in us and have trusted us will we be able to serve them after I'm dead? All the people who are thinking of joining this movement, if I'm not here, will, so I think that sort of gives you perspective. And the job now is sort of to transfer the vision from me or my wife and I to you guys, to the team here in the office, to the investors, to the residents. And look, anyone can do it. Whatever it that is, anyone can. If I could do it, literally, anyone can do it. My guys in the office, average age is what, 25, 24, 25? Yeah, I think maybe average age 24, 25. Because some are 22, some are 27. I finished school at 27. So I was a late bloomer. I went to school late. I took a long course in a public university, I was dealing with my personal issues of taking care of family and what have you. By the time I got to the area of dreams and vision, I was a bit advanced in years. But we are dealing with people who are 22, 23. And we're able to give them this kind of vision. So if I could do it, then anyone can do it. So over the last 8 years, I could talk about the numbers in the office from 7 to 100 plus and growing. I could talk about the number of projects. I think we have completed 7. There's another 2 that we don't talk about because those belong to Savo. So we don't talk about them, but including those 2 is 9. We have another 10 on site, another one about to be launched. We could go into that, but right now I think Kenyans now know that. They know the projects that we have. They know the projects we have completed and what we are about to launch. But maybe I'll talk about growth internally. I've probably sort of touched a bit on my own personal journey and my own personal growth. Even my relationship with my wife has changed. It has changed dramatically because we used to work separately and invest jointly. But now we work together. We work together, we invest together, we make decisions together. She's a very strong personality, as am I. I look like the loud one and her the quiet one, but kwa ground vitu ziko. Yeah, but yet I cannot let my strength diminish who she is, or to want to make her happy, I can't diminish my own strength. So we both have been forced to speak our voices louder and listen more keenly. Yeah, it's what we are trying to even, I think that's the theme for this quarter in the office. That's the level of growth where everybody in the office now is being asked to ensure their voice is heard and to have the inner strength to ensure their voice can be questioned. And that's the level of growth we have gone, because I have had to, I was always a people pleaser. So it was very easy to agree and not speak my voice. But as I've grown older, I've learned to voice my thoughts clearly, regardless whether I'm talking to the young or to the older. But I've also learned to be more empathetic, to really listen keenly, and to just have the inner maturity to know I'm not always right. I can, and that's how Savo is. That's how Savo is growing. It'll be very nice for me to sit and paint for you a nice rosy picture, marketing gimmicks and PR stunts. No, it's not been easy. It's not been easy because serving 3,500 investors, the first 20 or 30 were our personal friends. Now these are people I have never met, people I might never meet. Yet every decision I make, privately or in the office setting, every little hidden agenda I might have will affect them. So I have to decide. It really goes to question my own character. I have to decide, do I just want to do what is good for the company and ignore everyone else, or can I learn to be careful that every personal decision I make, knowing that it affects other people, how can I do that? Every personal decision we make affects these young people. I mean, it's not lost on us. And I mean, I've seen people saying Savo, vijana wadogo, they're all rioters. Okay, yes, they are. Someone has to house them. Someone has to accept them. They are my son lives in a Savo building. Most of my team in the office live in Savo buildings. It's not lost on us that we are housing the youngest band of income earners, fresh out of college into their first or second job. And these are not the guys who are, they're not the struggling type. These are the ones who have good jobs and are earning well. So if I'm 23, 24, I'm earning well, my boldness is at another level. It means I speak louder, I drink a little more, a bit more rude, I'm a bit more entitled, but that's the person we have chosen. That's the person we have chosen. And they come with all their talents, and they come with all their issues. And that's what is in front of us. And for us, growth is saying, I don't want that person as a tenant. I want to listen to that person, understand them, and help them to achieve the best, for themselves and for their lives, and to make the best decisions. That's an area we fail every single day. Yeah. So it would be nice for me to come and say, we have cracked the right market segment, which we have. We are doing the best we can, which we are trying, and we have made sure everyone is happy. No. In a short while, by this time next year, we'll be housing more of this young generation. Let's say between 19 and 28, somewhere there. We'll be housing more of those than any single organization is bringing together. I think we'll be housing that age bracket more than Safaricom is hiring, more than any church congregation, more than any specific thing. It will be huge. I mean, a year from now, it will be about 7, 8, 10,000 people that we are having under one brand. Growth and maturity says, listen to them and know that you don't know. Yeah. I mean, we have worked with, we are trying to offer business advice and career advice. We're working with churches. We even host churches. We're trying to work with the psychologists. We're trying to, but can we get it? Can we get it at once? I don't think so. So part of our growth has been the humility to know that we don't know. But we don't stop trying. Macroeconomic factors, a war in Ukraine, a weakening shilling, more taxes, competition left, right, and center. Do we know a pandemic like COVID that happened the other day? Do we know what's coming tomorrow? I don't think so. But part of that growth in the last 8 years is to understand that things that we have never thought would happen will happen. And we need to be ready to know that they will come our way and it will hit us. So as we get into these 8 years, I'm probably more pensive than I was back then. But I think that level of calmness allows Savo to do things that are bolder than we could do before. Because before, our boldness was because of bravado. It was because of that, the Jews call it chutzpah, that, kwali nini, that's, and you need it. You need that bravado of a 7-year-old, but it must be mixed with the humility of a monk. And now that's where we are trying. I think that's how the next level of years is going to be. Yeah. I think as more and more, it's having boldness that is led by understanding. And true understanding forces you to be humble. Because then you realize, if I'm doing something that is significant, it is by definition bigger than I am. What you're doing is bigger than me. I have never led a company this big. Yeah, but we have started it from scratch and it is growing. So my job is to ensure that the guys we are bringing on board will be able to lead this thing better than I can. We have never handled this many investors and this many residents, and they're going to increase. Our job is to make sure that the promise that we give to them is kept, and more important, that the mindset of Kenyans is affected positively. Now, that is bold. That is bold because when you're talking about, business is all about, there's a lot of competition that is going on. I'm not trying to compete against the people trying to build what we're building. I think we're in the same team. I'm trying to compete against consumerism, to compete against the mindset that when I have a job, I work, I earn a salary, I spend the money, and somehow you don't see your 56-year-old uncle. Somehow you don't see your 62-year-old aunt. The people who are well-to-do at some point, and now they are having issues, lifestyle related. Their lifestyles led them to an economic place that is not good. It has led them to health that is not in the right way. If we can affect the minds of Kenyans that way, because one of the things I think we have terribly failed is we have over 3,000 investors, but most of them, we have not yet been able to communicate the message of investment properly. We have told them, come and buy an apartment. Well, that's okay. That's good for them and it's good for the business. But it falls short of the calling. It falls absolutely short of the calling. And the calling is just for people to understand, if I have work to do, can I stop getting joy from the things that I can consume now and getting joy in putting money in things that will take care of me tomorrow? That's the real change. The real change is not numerical growth. It's not the number of buildings we are putting up. It's not the affecting of neighborhoods that we are, and we are. The real change is turning that mindset, that knowing that if I spend my money on things that will take care of me tomorrow, I'll be much better off. My name is Leonard Mcharo, and we are the bold who change the world.